Picture a class biology classrooms in schools. The chapter is the circulatory system. On the board, a diagram of the heart, flat, for labeled chambers, a set of arrows. The student copies it, memorizes which arrow goes where, answers the question in the exam. And a week later, none of it is left. The problem isn't the student. It's the medium. Anatomy is three-dimensional, it's in motion, and everything in it is connected. A printed page is none of those things, it's a still photograph of a process. Two things do it properly. A cadaver lab, which needs a medical college. And licensed 3D anatomy software, sold per seat, per year, priced for hospitals. Neither reaches the classroom. So we built Human Body Explorer called BioVerse, a 3D anatomy lab that runs in a browser tab. No install, no license key, no lab, no server. And the idea behind it is one line, the explanation and the picture should be the same object. When you ask a question about the body should answer. Here it is, running live. Let us see how it's built. Under it, React and 3.js through React 3 Fiber, a real anatomical model file, and the browser's own speech engine for narration. One decision worth calling out: every structure's camera target is measured from the actual mesh in the model file, not hand-typed. That's why the camera lands correctly on all 63, and why adding a structure doesn't mean tuning a camera by hand. And it all renders on the client. No backend, no API key, no per-user cost. It runs on a school laptop, and it keeps running when the Wi-Fi doesn't.
This is the brain. Processes sensory information, controls voluntary and involuntary actions, and is the seat of thought, memory, emotion, and language. This is the spinal cord. Carries signals between the brain and the rest of the body, and handles reflexes on its own without waiting for the brain. This is the heart. The heart is a muscular organ that pumps blood through the pulmonary and systemic circulation. This is the lungs. Bring oxygen into the bloodstream and remove carbon dioxide through the process of breathing, respiration. This is the trachea. Provides a clear, permanently open channel for air, while its lining traps dust and sweeps it back up to be swallowed or coughed out. This is the liver. Filters blood from the digestive tract, metabolizes nutrients and drugs, produces bile for fat digestion, and stores energy and vitamins. This is the stomach. Stores swallowed food and breaks it down using acid and enzymes before releasing it gradually into the small intestine. This is the pancreas. Releases enzymes that digest fats, proteins and carbohydrates, and produces insulin and glucagon to control blood sugar. This is the kidneys. Filter waste products and excess fluid from the blood, regulate electrolyte balance, blood pressure, and red blood cell production. This is the urinary bladder. Expands to hold urine as it arrives from the kidneys, then contracts to empty when you choose to go. This is the spine. Holds the body upright, transfers weight to the pelvis, allows bending and twisting, and forms a protective canal around the spinal cord. This is the rib cage. Shields the chest organs while flexing with every breath, lifting and widening to draw air in. This is the small intestine. Completes the chemical breakdown of food and absorbs almost all of the nutrients into the blood and lymph. This is the large intestine. Absorbs remaining water and electrolytes, houses the gut microbiome, and forms and stores waste for elimination. Air travels down the trachea, splits into the bronchi, and reaches millions of tiny air sacs called alveoli. Each alveolus is wrapped in capillaries, so oxygen diffuses across into the blood while carbon dioxide diffuses the other way to be breathed out. The huge combined surface area of the alveoli is what makes this exchange fast enough to sustain the body.
Air travels down the trachea, splits into the bronchi, and reaches millions of tiny air sacs called alveoli. Each alveolus is wrapped in capillaries, so oxygen diffuses across into the blood while carbon dioxide diffuses the other way to be breathed out. The huge combined surface area. The brain has three main parts. The cerebrum handles thought, language, voluntary movement and interpreting the senses. The cerebellum sits below and behind it, coordinating balance and
The brain has three main parts. The cerebrum handles thought, language, voluntary movement and interpreting the senses. The cerebellum sits below and behind it, coordinating balance and fine movement. The brainstem connects to the spinal cord and controls automatic functions like breathing and heart rate. It is supplied by the internal carotid and vertebral arteries. Intestines. The small intestine absorbs most nutrients and water from digested food. The large intestine absorbs remaining water and forms waste for elimination. The adult brain contains roughly 86 billion neurons and consumes about 20% of the body's total energy despite being only approximately 2% of body weight.